for a while now, like my neck's been a little weird. Like, well, I just cracked it 2 seconds ago before I started the video, but it cracks a lot. Like, an abnormally large amount, and it feels kind of like I'll go through my day and it just starts feeling stiff, and then I'll just go like, boom, boom, and this like eventually over the course of a couple of years progressed to just feeling stiff more and more and more. Or I'm not sure if I'm just more aware of the stiffness because I've trained myself to kind of like detect and focus on that area. And what I think it is just like storing tension and stress in the body. And then I hyper focus on my neck, and the physical sensation of the cracking of the neck kind of cues my nervous system to relax a little bit. But I'm like, this can't be good for my neck long term. Why does it feel so stiff? And then I've been doing yoga the past week or so, and it's a little different. Like, I don't watch the videos on YouTube of how to do yoga or like the see people going through the poses. I can't do that. Like, when I do that, I'll hit a pose and we'll just be like deep in, arms stretched like this, or bending down. I'll just be like and then like deep breath in, and I've done like 15 breaths while they said deep breath in, and I don't feel relaxed at the end of it. I don't feel calm at the end of it. At the end of it, I'm like, holy crap, that wasn't that much fun. So that's what happened the first couple of times I tried yoga. And then one day I just laid down doing my meditation, and I just wanted to move afterwards. So I kind of like just, this is one thing I like, when you lay down, just kind of circling, going slow, feeling it, going around, and kind of arch it, just slow control in the shoulders. It actually feels really good, loosen up. But one day I was just meditating, and then I had the urge to get up by just going like that, and I just went into a lunge and started moving around while still breathing, because I just felt like I really wanted to move after lying on the ground doing some meditation. And I just felt into it. I felt into the tension that I was holding in my body, and then releasing it and working through it. And afterwards, I just, not only was I a lot looser, but I just felt a lot less stressed. I'm like, wow, I can release tension I store in my mind by releasing tension in my body, because the mind and body are connected. Like, no crap, why did I think of this earlier? Like, this is what it is. Like, if you have trouble releasing, for me, what do I call it? I called it stiffness, mental stiffness. I don't know how that goes with mine, but I think it's stress or just repeated thought patterns. But like, I didn't really consider myself stressed out or like until I started doing this, and then afterwards I was just like, oh my god, I feel so relaxed. I'm like, well, I guess I must have been a little stressed out beforehand. But it's crazy because I didn't feel stressed out. I felt like this is one of the calmer times in my life. But it definitely has been. But I guess maybe even less stressed, which is honestly very nice, because a while ago I realized that stress doesn't actually help you get stuff done. What helps you get stuff done is having the ability to think creatively in order to first determine whether or not this work is even worth doing, and then what the best way to do it is. Because if you just are constantly stressed out, you'll jump into it not questioning why you're doing it, how you're doing it. And by not questioning those two things, you can often do work and then have to either undo it, or it just wasn't important enough to do in the first place. So it actually makes you a lot more stuff finished. You're doing less, but you're moving the needle towards your goals more because you're doing it more efficiently. But in a great way is when you're stretching here, like right there, I feel tension in the lower leg. And then you kind of just relax into it and you ease forward. while using your breath. And I mean, you can't really see the toe, but like, I haven't really been able to touch my toes in years. And like, at first it's here. You know, this is what is normally comfortable for me, but once you relax more, once you breathe into it, you can kind of move forward. I mean, I can touch my hands both. When I touch my toes with both hands, I haven't done that in years. Normally it's like, yeah, here, and I'll go like, ugh, I touched my toes. I'm very inflexible. But yeah, just moving into it, and then you notice how you deepen the stretch. Like, you'll do some breathing. I mean, you might only get to one point when you're trying to touch your toes, and then you move around a little bit. You just transition through. I kind of just try to flow and focus on my breathing, let my body do what it wants to do. And then I wind up in different positions, but I more so focus on, I mean, I have a candle because I like flowing, and then this is a pine scented candle I made from actual pine sap and beeswax and coconut oil. But I just use it as a meditation candle as something to my focus on. So I'll focus on the smell, and it gets me more into my body, out of my head, and then I can kind of flow between positions more comfortably. So like, you'll go from here, which is a split squat, like leg behind, and then you kind of just shift, and then you come up into like a Cossack squat, and then you keep the balance, and you just go through the motion of it. And then from here, I can either sit forward into like, try to keep myself in care, like a hip lunge, or, oh, I felt good. Whatever the heck that is. Downward dog, I think it is. But you just kind of transition through the motions. And I mean, it helps being from wrestling and having done a little bit of stretching before, but I was just being way overly neurotic beforehand, and I never got the benefit out of it because I never felt more relaxed by doing it. When you're trying to like hold awkward positions that you might not even be at the level of doing, and while breathing calm, you're like, no, maybe not. And then you start thinking yoga's stupid, which is what I got into, and then eventually like, you start doing something, and you're like, wow, that's really helpful. And you're like, you think about it like, oh, I think that's what yoga is supposed to be. But anyways, I would highly recommend, I mean, this is what, 6x6 foot area, which you can do it in. But I recommend doing a slightly larger area just so that you can move around more and not have to necessarily think about whether or not you're going to be bouncing against the walls and repositioning. But I didn't think I was stressed, right? I didn't think I was stressed, but then I started doing it, and afterwards you just get into this like, oh wow, that was 28 minutes I was doing it? I feel so relaxed right now. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Like, you don't realize where you were because you're a fish swimming in the water. You're like, well, this is just my normal level. But like, I've been to higher extremes. It just turns out I haven't been to the very, long-term meditation, long-term yoga gets you very unstressed and in a very nice state of mind. So highly recommend you do it, and peace out.